Hello, this is AnlineOffline. For today's video, we'll be covering the mid-season review for Season 6 of 2026, along with other news. Burst Akimbo on the 1911s has been reworked. According to the patch notes, his weapon perk no longer harms range or damage. In exchange, they added a vague penalty to movement and hipfire. But it already had those penalties, and they still haven't updated the in-game stats in the comparison page. So what gives? From what I can observe, it's true that the damage is the same as its solo version, and I'm going to assume the same is true for its range because I can't hipfire that far to check. What about movement? Previously, Akimbo ran at the same speed as an SMG. When I tested sprint speed after the change, it's faster than I expected, the same as in base. With that, it's safe to assume that hipfire is also the same as in base, because I'm not sure if I can prove that consistently. The only thing that didn't change was the reload times, but Underkill only reloads your left pistol after weapon swapping. So what does any of this mean? With base damage, the Akimbo 1911s are now a 3-shot kill, making it one of the deadliest options in close quarters. They've also added a new setting that allows you to shoot each pistol independently, via the 2 fire buttons. This means you can shoot both at the exact same time, which is more lethal. The Hades from Black Ops 4 got a buff to its bloom. Now you don't need a laser to do well at long range. The M2 from Cold War had its full reload animation sped up. Thankfully, this scales with cancel times. In addition, its bloom was buffed to rival burst weapons if they didn't have a burst delay to reset. The Bruin from 2019 was another gun whose entire reload animation was sped up and is no longer the worst in the game. Thank goodness, because in neither of the Modern Warfare games was it this obnoxiously slow. Like the M2, the Lagged 53 or FAL also had its bloom buffed to rival burst weapons. Black Ops 4's Cordite received a buff to its first 2 ranges, so you can achieve its 4-shot potential further. The Dingo from Black Ops 3 was given a new first range value, and will now deal 30 damage within 8 meters. Therefore, it's much more likely to achieve its 3-shot potential now. Vanguard's Ironhorn had its recoil reduced. It's much less disorienting to use now, at least for hipfiring. Still, it has its other issues. 2019's SVD had its fire rate buffed from 182 rounds per minute to 200. On one hand, it's good because it doesn't have a consistent one-shot zone or much range. On the other, you might not want to spam because of its recoil. Personally, I would prefer they undo that damage nerf from 3 years ago, which it didn't deserve. Cold War's Groza had 2 of its attachments buffed. The reinforced barrel doesn't harm strafing as much anymore. The Duster pad stock now boosts strafing instead of just sprinting. The Marksman barrel on the LK24 now increases your head and chest multiplier, but the patch notes are a little off from the final change. 65% more damage makes headshots very lucrative. Just 1 guarantees you a 3-shot kill in its first range, and 2 for its second range. 26% more damage to the chest only matters in its first range when you're shooting someone in the back. Cold War's FFAR got a buff to its agency suppressor. It now comes with a 10% boost to range, which is a little weird when it does the opposite for some guns. The BDW from Black Ops 2 got a couple of buffs. The damage values in its 3rd and 4th range were increased by 1. In its 3rd range, there's now a 5-shot potential if you land all shots to the arms, chest, or head. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. In its 4th/final range, you can secure a 6-shot potential by tagging the arms, chest, or head only twice. That's quite generous actually, assuming you have the bloom for it. The Marksman barrel now helps more with horizontal recoil, and the strike stock doesn't punish strafing as harshly. As if despite the CX-9 and its nerfed hollow point rounds, the JICOM is unquestionably the best burst weapon in the game now, just in time for the Black Ops 2 ports for PlayStation. With a burst delay this short, it almost feels like an automatic. It's only slower than the burst conversions for the STEM, Tech 9, and Machine Pistol. But unlike all burst weapons, the CODM has a perfect mix of damage, range, bloom, mag size, has suppressors, and is hit scan. The only nerf to guns this season is unofficial, and it's for the BAL 27. They completely removed its high ground grip. It was the only attachment that could help the BAL with its flinch. I didn't use it, so it's not a deal breaker, but it's strange that the devs removed it without saying anything. If it was intentional, it sets a bad precedent. The M4, CX9, M13, Type 25, and KSP all received some new textures. They fixed a bug on the DRH's OTM mags that hid their boost to body multipliers. They also fixed a bug with the enhanced bolt on the QXR, which accidentally gave you a 100% range penalty. However, a lot of players are experiencing a new bug that flips the gun on its side like an SMG version of the DP27. For wildcards, Underkill received a number of bug fixes. Some players have noticed an abnormal amount of shots to kill against Underkill users. The health boost properly depletes now. Some people were also using mythic projection to drop their guns and then picking it up so they can take advantage of the speed boost. That shouldn't be the case anymore. Killstreak support has been nerfed. You can no longer select a tier 3 perk as your 4th option. For streaks, 3 had their scorecards changed. The MP system was nerfed and the UAV overload was buffed. However, it doesn't change the number of kills to earn. The buffed Guardian now takes 1 kill less to earn regardless of hardline or not. Both the Gunship and Flamenknot had their HP increased. The XS1 Goliath got a buff to its movement speed. Sure, it's only on par with the AR walking speed, but at least you can actually get to the next hardpoint now. So, what are my thoughts on this season's patch notes? After a couple seasons of tough nerfs, we got one with no real losers for multiplayer. The biggest winners this season are easily the CODM and Akimbo 1911s. Both were already pretty underrated, with potentially scary time to kill. Unlocked at level 21 in the Battle Pass. The new SMG this season is the FSS Hurricane from Modern Warfare 2 2022. It's based on the AR-57, an AR-15 that's chambered in 5.7 FN and uses P90 mags. Despite having mediocre stats and no distinguishable gimmick. I don't dislike it. I might even say that it's somewhat satisfying to use. Performance-wise, it's the SMG equivalent of the AMAX. Subpar time to kill with less range, slow bullet speed, borderline LMG level reload times, and dubious flinch that you can't do much about. But I guess you can build for good hipfire. It does have a mythic, so who knows what shadow buffs he'll do to drive hype. But I guess that's not always the case as shown with the DP27. In the near future, the upcoming weapons will be 2022's ISO Hemlock Assault Rifle, Cronin Squall Likely Marksman Rifle, and 2023's Static HV SMG. There's also Vanguard's EX1, but that's allegedly exclusive for DMZ, so it might not even get a gunsmith. Plus, they don't seem to be in any rush to bring the Micro MG to multiplayer and Battle Royale. I think the Cronin Squall has the most potential, because it's basically confirmed for Modern Warfare 4, and I'll have another chance to talk about the NGSW, the XM7/8 now, and whatever America's up to. Unlocked at level 14 in the Battle Pass. The new streak this season is the VTOL jet from 2022. How it works is that you mark a location on the map for a missile strike. Then it'll circle back around and start shooting players like a stealth chopper. You can also call it over to your current location different from where you placed it. Rising did an in-depth video on it if you're interested. It has the potential to be very oppressive in spawn trapping given how quickly it can target you. It ignores cold-blooded and is immune to thermite rounds. But it also takes a while before it starts gunning people down. So it's best to take it out early with an FHA and maybe steal it with firepower support or drop a SAM turret. Melee bashing has been added as a feature for weapons that have the revamped animations. It replaces the quick melee, but you can toggle between them. In the test server, it was a one-shot kill which had many concerned. Worry not, because it's a 2-hit kill as of release. Is it better than a one-shot quick melee? Maybe, depending on the circumstances. In VR, they made a bunch of changes to classes, such as removing Last Stand from Desperado, an unintended super slide bug with jet boost, and adding/removing passive abilities that I don't play enough VR to comment on. Next season, there's a new class that allows you to throw shock charges, which will force your enemies to hipfire uncontrollably. What about map and UI changes? They finally added more maps to Ranked, and allow playlists for League play for those that don't want to play certain game modes. They fixed the collision on the ledges for High Rise, so all is normal. 2019 shipment received the same lighting update as other recently remastered maps. There's a rumor that the Nuketown that we got from Black Ops 1 will be replaced by that of Black Ops 6. In the meantime, I've come across a bug regarding both Nuketown and firing range. The minimap does not work, and some cars are not there. I don't know if anyone else is having the same issue. Until that's resolved, I'm going to avoid those maps. They buffed Mandling again, so it's now easier to climb things and it opened some new spots to the parkour. But they've also increased the stickiness of climbable objects. So if you have fast climb on, you might randomly mantle onto things just passing by them. They also changed the lobby UI to something akin to Warzone Mobile. I guess I don't hate it. I can get used to it. But it's inconvenient that the tabs for Clan Wars and Solo Practice are hidden behind menus. Replacing the Striker source code, the new legendary in the secret cache is an MG42 Mastercraft from Vanguard. Do my eyes deceive me? Something other than Black Ops Cold War? So yeah, that's nice. This season's main collab is Persona 5.
There will be no shortage of volunteers, no shortage of patriots. I know you understand.
You never see it come back.
Not a muppet like you, post selection.
Word on the street is that there's an alleged curse in which whenever a game collabs with Persona, said game shuts down after a year. So that's ominous. Well, what does this collab offer? There's an armory series, and they've actually remembered to give out free spins this time. Unfortunately, I'm not so lucky. There's a knife throwing minigame, but the controls are a bit janky. There's an event that requires you to team up and spend money on the game, but I'm neither interested in microtransactions nor in being deadweight. I'm not sure if there are many Persona fans in the community. They might only know Joker because of Smash. Everyone seems more interested in simping for Izzy from Modern Warfare. At least they aren't AI generating stuff on Reddit. But we're not here to power scale gooning. There's a smaller collab with Julio Cesar Chavez and his boxing gloves, which is a bit random. Now, don't get me wrong. Chavez is one of the greatest pound-for-pound boxers in history, Mexico's GOAT. But he's been retired for 20 years. It's not Cinco de Mayo, nor is it Mexican Independence Day. But it was his birthday, so you got me there. It's been leaked that there's an upcoming collab with the Terminator franchise. I'm guessing that they're porting the Vanguard version, not Black Ops 6. I will say that it would be a missed opportunity to not make an HSO or Argus blueprint, given how iconic the Model 1887 was in Terminator 2. We are halfway through the year, and there is still no news on the PC port or any fix to the Game Loop emulator. At this rate, I have more faith in Xbox 360 emulation on iOS working out. Well, at least people are able to enjoy Black Ops 1 and 2 on PS4 and 5 like the good old days. But I don't know how long that'll last before it's overrun by cheaters again. But hey, that's just my opinion. I didn't get to say this before, but after 4 years, I would like to thank you all for 2,000 subscribers. If you don't mind me, I'll start working on the video for the VLK Rogue. Then I think I'll make a poll next. Until then, my name is On, and I'm off.